We got peace. Okay, got peace in the audience. You know, we got introduce yourself.
I got intelligence on the can.
Okay, introduce yourself.
Majustice.
And you introduce yourself?
It's sure.
Okay.
I'm a law infinite.
I'm Law Infinite, aka
Murder.
yeah, God Law Shah. So peace, and that's good though, cause technology is good. You need that. We received via and because of information, this technology, man, and you know, a lot of people come and inquire. In fact, because of this, especially the YouTube version, because a lot of people, if you don't really get on my page, you don't friend me, you know, you may not really get it, but with YouTube, you can kind of catch that. I've had a set of Jews. I've sat in ciphers with them. Because, I saw you. They watching you, Em. They watching you doing, this nigga. Yeah. Hey, is that velvet? No, stop. No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, stop. Yeah, so yeah, we were just talking about it, bring it back. 120 hours written. The rhythm. You know, we kind of went into because lessons again were written in 1934. I say 33 and 34 because, see, again, 120 is a map, right? So, let me go. It's a map, 120. And that's what I call it. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to say that, but that's what I call it. And the reason why I do is because, again, like the God gave very excellent, you know, how 120 was written simply, but there's a rhythm, right? But like a map, like you look at the map here, right? You need to know what it's saying before you can get to where you're going, right? For instance, I didn't even know when he was coming up, because again, we're just retaining those are three things. But one thing although you may not say it's a map, you may call 120 whatever you call it, right? But it's one thing you don't have to do. Everybody, if you're 5%, you have to retain the knowledge, how to internalize it, and then you're living it out. Retaining it means that, you know, I'm putting it on brain. In fact, let me do it like this here. 1, 2, 3, because this is important. I'll come back to that. So you retained it, right? But then as I'm reading it, you know, there's a lot of proving factors, numbers, because you know, again, that's I think it's numbers, because we're talking actual facts, solar facts, your lessons, a lot of them are repeated. So some of them we get, because this is coming out of a 1934 almanac. So of course you know that numbers will change. It doesn't change the fact that the Earth is 19 million miles away from the sun, that sound travels at the rate of 1,020 feet per second, that light, you know, travels at the rate of 186,000 miles, or at the speed, 186,000 miles per second. All those things, right? I mean, there might be variations here and there, especially with the population of people, 17 million plus 2 million innings, but mathematically, we know how we can tie and relate these things and make them applicable in this day and time. Right. So one of the things I came across when I was younger was Musa was that wisdom man who was predicted by the 23 scientists in the year what? Gotcha.
In the year 15.
Yeah.
In the year 15,000.
19. But what does it say? It said in the year what?
1.
Yes.
15,000.
19. What's the one got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything? In fact, I'm gonna help you out. What is 15,019? Can you translate that? What year was that in this calendar? Or would have been in this calendar?
19.
Okay.
1960.
No.
19. No.
You cold.
19,
You cold.
19,
You cold. No, I'm gonna give it to him, God. I'm gonna give it to him yet.
Oh.
You cold. Okay. That's something. Okay. I'm just gonna give it. It has something to do with Fard and Elijah.
What, 1975?
Whoa.
19,
No, he didn't. No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
that's-
We opened the
that's
door.
what
We
I'm-
opened the door, God. We opened the door, man.
Yeah.
We opened the door, kicking you out, man. 1933.
19 Did the fraud, when did the fraud?
No, we ain't talking
The
about, no,
show
no,
was
no,
1930.
no,
Was
no,
it
guys, we ain't doing
1930?
that. Yeah, he stayed 3.5 years.
1930.
Yeah,
When he came
but,
to the shores.
yes, 1930, he
1930.
did, he did. And he
Okay.
3.5 years he came among the people.
Okay,
But the lessons was written
1934.
for. Now, actually 33 too. But the one, you're adding that to that. Simple as, oh, that was corny. No, it wasn't. Because
Oh, okay, all right.
we use arithmetics as well because you need that also formula to computate numbers. Right? Because that's important. Right? So when I read that, okay, yeah, well, 1934, then I understand the Asiatic calendar. Because you'll see the years. You'll want to cross it again in the 40th degree and the 1 to 40. But it'll tell you February 20th, 1934, the exact month, date, and year. But you got the 1 to 15,019. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that, so it was written, you know, because you put it together. You know what I mean? Again, yes, we don't take 120 on face value, but again, one of the first things you need to do is be able to retain it. Again, like a lot of people, of course, well, let me speak for myself. You couldn't tell me nothing when after I finished quoting it, because how I got it. You got 120 knowledge.
Okay. And wisdom and understanding.
Okay, that's right, God. And these supposed to be degrees, something real big. You know. So I just thought that's it. I quoted it. I'm good. I sat in informatics class and
But that was a great accomplishment, just to call it.
yeah, it was no, and it is yes.
that was a
No,
great accomplishment.
we're not. Yes, because
And-
what 120 did.
Yeah.
And what 120 does do, it impacts us educationally. A lot of us during that particular period, we've advanced from the time that we was coming up, 60s and 70s. You know, where again we don't have that to thank you for the modern inconveniences. I can bring the truth to you in nanoseconds. So right now, somebody in Kenya is on YouTube looking at this. Well, they will be. Yeah, you know, if you're friending me, they on that now. Right, there you go. So you see the connections constantly. But a lot of our brothers, you know, especially when the law was teaching during the early 60s, some of them didn't have it. There was no, you got 120, and here's a set of lessons. First of all, we gave it to you mouth to ear. Who are you? Okay, come on, let me get, you might have got the 16th degree and the 1 to 40 first. Right, there was no, here, let me get the supreme mathematics, then you get the alphabet. That came later. The guards and the others too formulated that order came later on, but the whole idea was, let me give you the knowledge.
Get something.
Right, let me give you something. Black Messiah, out of his mouth told me. One of the first things the Lord told him was, what was he getting the 16th degree? Who was the 5%? And then later on, I'm drawing it up. Wow, I get that part. Why? Because let me see. Can you read, son? Right. Let me not take for granted. Let me give you this book. Give me this book, God. No disrespect, and the respect you here, man. Here's 120. Right? Then later on, because now there's different ways of teaching. Correct?
Yes.
Correct?
I'm
There's
still learning. So I say yes.
no, I see there's different ways of teaching.
Yeah.
What's one way?
See?
Yes, beautiful. What's another way?
Mouth to ear.
Yes, sound.
Sound.
Right. So I'm looking. Right? I'm looking. I'm hearing it. Right? Because I may not be able to grasp it the way Majestic grabbed it or Inf grasped it. I get it because I can't read. Right. And then later on I had to learn, see, I'm following unknowingly what you guys were doing. And so I'm bombing people because you didn't know 120
That was
quick
the
enough.
way of life. That was the way of things back then.
But that was some cruel shit there.
Absolutely.
Tell you why it was cruel. And some instances, not all the time.
Not all, right?
Because what happens if he has an educational disability?
Yeah.
And then you bomb me as a result of me, my thoughts couldn't multiply as quickly as yours? But you stopped me. I mean, we're just doing it. I'm talking about doing a period where there's a lot of dynamics to that too. That's not being told. A lot was done, and it's still being done. But back then, like in the 70s and the 60s and 70s, it was blatant. Like God, devil. I'm in your way. You didn't see the black and white TV? I saw dogs on your people just for peacefully protesting to your enemy about you wanting peace. How you doing, sir? You just killed 3 of my children, but can you? We just want to reach out and kill them again. Yeah, you. Oh, and because you said peace, I'm God, intelligent. I'm supposed to be your friend? Man, please. You know, so so that was some serious stuff. So you got to keep peeking, and you know, that's some serious science there that was going on. So different ways of learning. But one thing that we were taught here is about education. Go to school. In fact, this school, this where you're sitting at right now, was built for the sole purpose of coming here, getting your education, and then there was the linkage to Harlem Prep. Right, because you know, you want to advance further, you know what I mean? But then there was that linkage there. And that's how, like, some of the guards went on, and Queens, I'm sure, too, went on to college. Right? But, first and foremost, let me see where you are. Right? The dynamics of why do you want the knowledge? Right? Because during that period, it wasn't fashionable to be us. Right? It wasn't fashionable. You know, in fact, we were shunned.
Yeah. So the people,
5% of you ain't a Panther. 5% you ain't NOI. What's that? Some gang? Right? Until you start seeing how quickly we grew. Like literally when you hear the history and it says that it spread like wildfire, it did. Right. And I would think that one of the ways, the reason why it spread, because check this one, a lot of them teach kill Whitey, go to school. No, respect the government. Right? Now, a lot of people, when you hear that, during this time that he's giving it up, a turbulent time with Black Power. You know, and I get it. The peace to these conscious realms. Right? I said, man, check this out. I keep reiterating this point. You want to overthrow devil? Yeah, overthrow that. Overthrow how you was bitten, like this degree you're reading now. You know, he took degree in the 1 to 14 to kill you out. You know, why Muhammad and Muslims murdered the devil. And we the God was about ready to get into this bill about the 4 devils. But we talking about things eternally that has impacted your plane. Right? And one of the ways to eradicate that, see, first of all, I ain't trying to hate you. In fact, you really want to teach? Yeah. He got to be taught too. See, because you ain't going to eradicate racism just educating all black people. You got to let the enemy know, listen, man, my man, because they were serious. They came to Malcolm with it. White people, remember the white people. Listen, please, can I help you? What can I do? And then Malcolm still be pro-black. Now you can't do nothing for me. Get up out of here. And so later on, he sees and he matures in thinking and observation. Oh wait a minute, man! I wish I could have turned the clock back and grabbed her because we need everybody here, all human families. Allah ain't stupid. He understood, man. The day mathematics is okay. No problem. We're gonna, wisdom knowledge. Your knowledge is wise. Yeah, no problem. Your knowledge is wise because the way you disseminate it, the way you live in accord with it, how you apply this knowledge.
You put it into effect. Yeah.
Right. And so going back, right? Allah understood, man. Listen, man. First of all, the reason why I'm telling you not to do this because you're the natural landlords. So you gonna kill this? You gonna overthrow and kill X, Y, Z? No.
And we teach you love, peace, and happiness.
Right. White man coming to you, man. He's listen, man. I need you to give him the knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Why? Because just like he did with Azrael, he gonna go places you not gonna go with this knowledge.
Right.
Because you ain't going in Bensonhurst at 3 o'clock in the morning when they have a little party. So, peace, how you doing? Music gonna stop, they gonna look at you. Yeah. Wait. I thought but he can.
Yeah, you can go amongst them.
And impacts them. That's how Fard did it. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, so he understood the black man's God, the white man's the devil. I've had ancient, but again, maturity. The day mathematics, wisdom, knowledge. So we know that the knowledge is wise, right? Because when you finish speaking or demonstrating what it is that you're doing, the knowledge is wise because, the way you're applying it, right? Going back to Allah and what we were talking about, he understood. Listen, man, first and foremost, let me teach these people. Right? Then understood that when the time arose, when, the enemy knocked King off, right? He knew, listen, man, now let me go peacefully protest. Why we want to peacefully protest? Well, not everybody here is righteous. Not everybody is a righteous Muslim, and nobody here is a 5%er. Not everybody's a good Christian. We got people that's angry. You just killed King, man. So I'm gonna tear F Mega Mama store up. You just finished shopping there 3 hours ago. Then you learn through CBS, what happened. Then that was all she wrote. So they said, no, we ain't doing that either. Peace is the absence of all confusion. It doesn't mean you cowardice. You understand who you are, right? And when we greet the ignorant, we greet them in peace. Now, going back to this bill, because I don't want to, I'm tied in. 120 teaches you that, right? Again, the map. You got before you perform the duty, you got to know the meaning. Right, that's the 17th degree in the 1 to 40. Right, what's the meaning of civilization? When I have a knowledge, we understand the cultural refinement. Not a savage. You can't be a savage in pursuit of happiness. Right? Then you can perform the duty of a civilized person. That makes sense to you?
A little.
Okay.
I'm still learning.
Okay. Stop running that. I'm still learning. I didn't ask you to quote nothing. Just want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Right? Because what I'm saying is somewhat of a template. You can get it. I'm not now. If I said what's day mathematics to you, which you should have known quite well.
Well, I understand the purpose, but it's like the first number is the day. That's the.
We'll get to that because I don't want to. We'll come to that. But that's important. I'm kind of glad I brought it up to you because all that's relative. Because if you can't first, knowledge. The day not the master is very interesting because it speaks to wisdom, which is two, correct?
Knowledge, wisdom.
Yeah, knowledge, okay, wisdom. So wisdom is two, right? So what comes first, knowledge or wisdom?
Knowledge.
Right, but the day not the master is wisdom knowledge. Right? Hey, but that's okay. Don't go. Stop. You ain't got to break your head. Right? I was telling some guards that because one of the things with the 5%, and the reason why I had to bring that up, one of the root was the difference between us, no disrespect, and the Muslims, was that our knowledge of wisdom and their wisdom and knowledge. Right. I know a lot of them. I know they listening now. Like, yeah, Cypher. That's wrong, brother. Hey, but we're taught it's fact. I'm not parakeeting what someone said. Right. Right. Even one of us. That's why. First, when we was given the knowledge, we wasn't given no definitions. Later on, that helped. There's nothing wrong with it, because then say information them come along later. Right? Why God didn't get it when you got it. But the this one in. I need for our law to know what knowledge is. But now if you're teaching him that with the understanding that he has to research the manifestation, that okay. Because here comes a lot of justice now. Right? I'm running around talking about now bitch about him all things. This is what the son of you his blackness to his family. Okay. I told you before, one of the famous questions that always schooled me was, what do you mean? Right? That was good, see, quoting it.
Right.
But now when I pause you, what do you mean?
Right.
And I may not be telling you that just to chastise you. I want to know what you mean. What do you mean by knowledge of basic foundation? Right. I know knowledge means to know. What like the sun is, how do you make that connection? Right. Like the black man is his family. Ain't no mystery God. We worship in the sun, yeah, then you have to explain. Right? Now if you could do that, that's good. That's okay. Right. Because we get it. We read a book. I'm reading a book, How to Eat to Live. Which volume is this? Part 1 and 2. But anyway, good book too. From God in person by Master Father Muhammad. Yeah. But, good book to read. How to Eat to Live, right? But I'm reading from Elijah Muhammad. Reading from you're reading from how he was given to him by Master Father Muhammad. So I'm quoting that. But again, I'm not quoting without researching though. Meaning I'm not putting the words before the knowledge. I'm not putting the act before the idea. Let me think first. Let me utilize my thoughts. Let me study. Right now, I know that some people say that was a very disparaging statement you made. But when we came up moons ago, now the Nation of Islam, we're not here to disparage nobody. No religion, whatever. You may hear me and Benny classes go in about Christianity and the rest of these people. Because the law talk, we don't teach religion. Right. Dogma. And pontificating. So my brothers do that. I use that, I like that word. Pontifcate means to annoyingly express an idea. As if you're speaking. Look at me. And then you just come on, man. You're not teaching me nothing. You're just, going back to knowing, retaining it. And then you internalize the information. Now we come back to the root everybody of what the God was asking. His question was, he was exploring the 4 devils and the 10th degree and the 114. Now, so I can help you. Let me see the phone. No, stop. No, I got you, bro. I got you. No, yeah. So, because it mentions when it degrees, and historically it talks about how Muhammad and the Muslims actually took literally 4 devil's heads. Right? So, you know, and this degree actually is saying, so we're talking, because he's 100% weak and wicked. Listen to this. So you have to, and another thing about 120, you have to, when you read it meticulously. You can't be like a dead letter reader. You know, dead letter reader, people who read the Bible, and you take the allegorical and you ran with it. He fed everybody with one fish and 5 pieces of bread, and you know, okay, you know, look at the miracles that just took place. Come on, knock it off. You know, so you know, now I know when I get this YouTube thing and then people hear that, I'm gonna have to quickly get on there. Blasphemy! I'll be no, brother, you're wrong. Look at this fool. I'll be like, yeah. Anyway. So the degree, but what degree is saying, he's 100% weak and wicked. Listen. He is 100% weak and wicked when I keep obeying the laws of Islam. His ways and actions is like those of the snake of the grafted type. Right? Stop there for a minute. So we know the snake of the grafted type would be who in your mind? Right. So whose ways and actions am I referring to now?
Someone that's a carbon copy.
Okay, good. Who would be a carbon copy in this case then?
Could be the black man.
Yes, no, it could be.
Okay.
Ain't no could be to that.
Okay, black man.
We know he already said who the devil
Yeah,
is,
the black man.
right? So you're telling me, right, because you've been stung.
Yeah, the black man.
The Greek goes on and you've been stung. Right? So you couldn't come to imp now. Imp, well, in this case, literally, your enemy coming to you saying, yo, we're not with that other team no more, man. We get what you're doing. Oh, you do, huh? Yeah. All right, take this sword and you'll be in the front of the line. Let me see how much you're good. You know, right. But in this case, also, I'm referring to, we don't take, just because you're black.
On face value?
Right. The pigmentation of your skin. That causes trouble within the cycle of peace.
Yeah.
Right. Everything's subject to be
Examine.
yes, shown and proved. Yeah, the same thing. Yes. You know, no disrespect. We're not coming, you know, but you know, come on. Peace, how you doing? You know, yeah, come on, so we can not keeping the laws of Islam. His ways actually is like those of the snake. Although that's also meaning that the devil literally ways actions like an animal who's been grafted and what. But I'm just taking it, showing you. Now, they literally talking about taking heads. Well, now we move forward. That's why I told you to read that book, Zebra Murders. Because you had a good book. This was a book, I forgot who was written by, but it was during the time, 1930s and in that area, or later, I believe, where you had some of these Muslims who were actually taking for white people's heads.
In the 30s?
Yeah, well, in the 30s, the name of the book was called Zebra Murders.
Okay.
Right.
Because I did have a history of somebody actually taking 4
Yeah, no, there was,
to the
this was actual fact.
Yeah, murdering.
Not that, no, again, this is not to say it wasn't the Nation of Islam, but some people who took that information just ran with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, which also shows
Face
you
value.
how you have to be careful what you're reading, because, and also subjectively what was done to you. You see, you coming from that level, like, yo, man, you serious, man? I'm like, you want me to, I'm killing the devil.
I gotta take them off.
There's no talking about that. You already hit me with the historical facts about what was done to us, how we were taken from Africa, you know, why this knowledge was given to us. So I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
Right? That's not what was being taught.
Right.
Later on, when we get the knowledge, 5% that is. See, again, we're taught to explore, to go into, to examine. Right? Yeah,
But
yeah.
I noticed too though that in particularly they separate the original from the copy because he said snake of the grafted type. He didn't say just a regular snake.
Yeah.
So there's a separation right there from that.
Right. You're not right because I know that you because it also says you have to eradicate him physically because if you don't, he'll do what? They're saying someone else. Who's someone else? Who's someone else? I'm not concerned about him.
Anyone that's in the way.
Remember I told you, devil means actually one whose evil affects not himself but others. Right. So I'm not. You should. My evil is not going to affect my people.
Yeah.
So it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
So we need to eradicate him physically so it won't do that to you. In this case, what we're referring to is lust, envy, greed, and jealousy. That's where I was going. Right? Lusting, women, you know. Right, all, you know, right. Greed, jealousy, eternally, you know, those things that would stop you characteristically from being who you are.
Yeah.
How you gonna be my brother and be envious of me, man?
Right.
You know, or lust after my woman. You know, greed. You know, I'm you know, like, you know, yeah.
By any means necessary.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, because greed would be envy. Or,
yeah, all those things shake hands.
right.
So we eradicate. Now you hear a lot of people they'll say it. Yeah, we eradicate lust, envy, greed, and but have you? Right. Yeah, my brother worked hard for what he got. You know what I mean? I did it. Shit. Look at Inf. He got a nice cane and camera. He jumped out of a car. What do you think he is? That's your brother God now.
Yeah.
You running around to my blood minutes go, peace, you know, peace, oh man, you all that, yeah, but then when you saw him, what's that about?
Jealousy rising up.
Right, because you still got that running through the circulatory system in your body. What's the circulatory system?
Your bloodstream.
The bloodstream. You know, blood is mentioned a lot in our degree.
Yeah.
Right, that's how he was born.
His blood will I require
Blood.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, God. Yeah, thank you. The knowledge of self also allows us to understand who we are holistically. Right? You know, you just don't, because my name is Garland Shah, and, you know, I know what my name means. I know to quote 120, that's it. Good. Woo!
You see, woo.
Yeah. Yeah, that later on, when I'm bumping into my brothers who's studying, I'm having problems now. I'm finding, I'm having, he good, because they're getting here asking me questions. You go, how you see this? You know? You know, and I just say that, see, when I was coming up, if I use that excuse, I'm just learning how long you've been coming around us. I've been coming around you for a little while. You mean to tell me you didn't learn anything yet? You know what I mean? You know, yeah, so that's important. And the reason why I go there and say that is because, again, those four devils, and devil also means a doer of evil. You know what I mean? You know,
Don't have to be the color man.
right, you ain't got to be Caucasian. We know he's the template, the poster boy.
Yeah.
Right.
But shit, you see, he's bitten already, according to your degree, when you read the map, right? He did that already. So what happens is, when you want to eradicate, well, that whole, let me put it this way, you want to eradicate, when it said he wants to, I keep the the laws of Islam. No, you want to separate rather, you know, that from your bloodstream, so to speak. Like meaning like you cleansing yourself,
Right.
you know, eternally, you know, from that. So then, you know, so as I move out into the world, man, I'm not, you know, that's what the 5% does. You know what I mean? You know, we because it's about the knowledge of you, going back to holistically, like not just knowing who. When I say the circulatory system, you're supposed to know it's the blood.
Yeah.
What's the lymphatic system? The central nervous. What's my pineal gland? You know what I mean? How do all these things interact with who I am. You need to know. Yeah, yes, you need to know what happened to you, yes, and you need to know why you know why you want the knowledge, but you need to grow and increase in this knowledge also, right? You said something earlier that was very wise. Again, this is not church. This is not day mathematics, wisdom knowledge. The reason why my knowledge is wise, because wisdom is also
A vehicle.
it's the vehicle, but right, yes, it is that the knowledge travels in.
Right.
But it's also the experience that the wise man, the woman lives.
Mhm.
I think I failed, and I'm gonna use that word, more times than some people succeeded. Now, so God can't fail.
Oh.
I tripped and fell. Sure did.
Well, you
Got the
get up.
knowledge. Had the eyes wide open. Glasses on too. But eternally, so if you see that this is wrong, why are you attracted? Oh, day mathematics in 1 to 40. What you found on like attract? Like repels. That's the wisdom knowledge degree at that too. So we get to that in a minute. Right? Yeah, because eternally, with the knowledge of stuff, you haven't, you just quoted. You ain't internalized nothing. So the knowledge here didn't take root in the heart. Right, so you still have old ways you carry from the dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I want to get this. I'm gonna get this money. I done fell, hit my. Come on, man, please.
And I'm God too.
Yeah. And then right, and then your punishment, the blood black quiet thy hand, the knowledge born degree. I asked that question on Facebook. What does if mean? If a person if a civilized person performance what must be done. I asked what does the word if mean? And what's that got to do with that degree? Brothers, people jumped on that. I was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful example. Whoever's hearing this right now, I appreciate them. Yeah, they did. They did. And they answered very simply. First of all, if means something that's not absolute. It means it's the choices that you made.
It's dubious, right?
Yeah. Well, it becomes dubious because you made that choice.
Yeah.
If you do that, you may not.
Yeah. Right.
Right, it's a choice.
Yes, the choice.
If a civilized person, Shah, if you do this, what must be done? You going to jail, stupid.
Yeah.
That's where you going.
Right.
And the series, these are series of things going to happen to you. Oh, why are you still chasing this XYZ? You know what I mean? So, again, but you have a significant amount of our nation members and who are wise enough to know, I'm not doing that. I go through what I go through. I'm going to come out. See, I'm reading my lessons correctly. I went through hell, coming out that right.
That'll come out right.
Right.
Or you die.
Right. Coming out that right. I did too. I took the long way around the block. You know? And that servant who knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, needed to go according to his will, so he beat many stripes. That comes out of the Bible. St. Luke chapter 12, verse 47. Right? But that's also in a degree. If a civil number form of duty must be done. And then Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 18, it goes into that. And then he's talking about Ezekiel thou and the wicked. Ezekiel's talking to thou, which is you, and then the wicked. So there's three people. Ezekiel, thou, and the wicked. He gonna die in his own iniquity. But your blood will be quiet thy hand. He gonna die because of his stupidity. But you knew better.
Right.
Oh no. Watch this. Watch this. Watch what we do to you. You knew better, so your punishment is severe.
Right.
So, having said that, and I went different places here. Yes.
I wanted to ask you,
Sure, go ahead.
have you ever heard the four devils representing the doctors, ministers, nurses, and cremated?
Yeah, it can be them. Yes.
Yeah.
And in fact, yes, it can be. And kind of glad you went there. That's 28 degrees and 1 to 40. What Dr. First rules and regulations including all laws and force about manufacturing devil. That's a long degree. That's the one you got it. Well, you going through it though. You knocking them off. You knocking them off. Knocking them big. You got the 4th. You got the 9th out the way.
Yeah.
Now you got the 8th and the 28th.
Right.
You get them 2 ones coming up. Yeah, 28 degrees on the playment though. Yeah, but they knock it off. You just the way your rhythm, like you said, it's a rhythm.
Right.
Don't let that become a barrier. Look at 1 degree. Oh my God, we'll be forever trying to quote it now. You know what I mean? You just piece it out however you do it. But yes, So what the God's referring to, for those who don't know, were 4 people commissioned, 4 black people commissioned to help create devil.
Yeah.
Doctor's law.
That's interesting. 4 black people.
Yeah, 4 black people. Yeah, that's why I went there.
Right there.
Yeah, because remember, devil not created yet.
Yeah.
See, in order to understand those, thank you. If maybe, let me go here. I know people on YouTube are listening, but I need to, let me ask you, he asked, have you ever heard of the 4 devils being the doctors, nurses, ministers, and cremers in the 20th degree and 1 to 40? Yeah, not in a long time, but, well, not used and not example largely. You heard it, but not largely. We always go different places, but never there. And sometimes we don't go there because, they black, they didn't know, and all kinds of nonsense. But listen, check this out. So, the doctor's law was examining all those who desired to marry. No, the doctor's law desired to marry first, and then he disqualified into the ministers. The minister's law was to marry all those who were unalike. The nurse's law was to stick a pin in the black baby's head at birth and tell his mother alive that her baby was an angel baby, was taken to heaven someday when she died, so her baby was secure home and place for in heaven. But save all the brown babies and tell his mother that she was a lucky mother. She should educate her child someday going to be a great man.
Like me.
Right? Then, no. No, we talking about diabolically great. The cremated would burn the black babies whenever the nurses brought them. So you got some real mean people up in this joint here.
And the penalty was death if they didn't carry that out.
Right. Now,
That's serious.
how are you carrying this out? Are you devil? Absolutely you are. Absolutely you are. I just told you what devil's devil? A doer of evil. He's born through murder and sin. Hopefully, he will, I'm sure, myself and a handful of us with a yard, in the schoolyard, talking about the same subject. Different segments of it. But, and we went into that 10th degree too. So, so here's, we'll put Infomega, right? And he's sending us the 4 corners of the world to teach this truth. Sends you, I got intelligent here, Allah Shah here, with justice, and then the brother Sean. Right? Because we populating, we growing. Make sure the balance of peace and everything is okay. If the best knower, like, okay, baby, I'm commissioning you to go there. Meaning that we have the knowledge and wisdom to be able to carry out this job. So we go, God goes here. Says, okay, now I'm getting everybody together. I'm coming to teach you some truth. Black man is God, but in order for you to get the rest of this knowledge, you got to pay me. So they go that truth, right? I go over here and teach. We get everybody together. Black man is God, but you need to build monuments and statues in my name. And once I see that they reflect the beauty of who I am, I'll give you the next page of this chapter. Right? That's 2 different languages being spoken. Right?
Language.
Right? So then Sean, the only one, peace, make everybody together. Black man's God, love your people. Everybody hungry? Yes, hey. Okay, back. Boom. But now, then here's the justice. Right? Justice like, just got his gaiters on, his hat. Justice dress, Come here, big on. He said, I'll teach anyone 3 wives I need. 3, that's his shit. Where he look, you give him. Now, so then, if seeing the imbalance, he sends other people. yo, knock it off, man. All of y'all, except for him. All right, so other people said, and other books they're called angels and everything. But these are other men who commissioned to correct the wrong, right? So this wrong is perpetrated for so long that it's already foreseen that someone from among them is going to create great travesty in the land, great bloodshed. Because you ain't listening. I done killed people. I done sent warnings. I done gave you the olive branch. And listen, he's not even here yet.
Right.
And you're still doing this to me.
Yeah.
No problem. Right? Right among you, somebody playing with 2 pieces of steel. Right? So he creates devil. But he creates a team. And this team gets big. Such a degree, according to the story, it says that they locked Yaqub and maddened him up. Right? Then they make a deal. Or take all your people and you'll go over there. So Yaqub gets his people, 59,999, and they go to the island, Pilon. Right. Now, now Patmos, Pilon.
Yeah.
So so now we come, who's with me? Why was he successful? I'm not building prison houses. You're gonna do what I say. All right, what we gonna do? Doctor, nurse, minister, cremator. And you all, alone in this story, will create devil. Yeah, you the archetype. You serious? Now, the black man can't be. That's not where I'm going. Well, he's born through murder, so he's born out of being original. Right. But you were the first one to set this stone into the land. So go back to God's question. Yeah, because you all were part collaborating in this story to create devil. You examined them, you married them, you stuck a pig literally in a black baby's head at birth, and probably or fed him some wild beast and told his mother a lie. You're not a devil? No, God, they were black. And man, please, chief just killed the child. The nurse.
Dead.
Or here, cremator, let me get graphic. Ha! Woo! But according to their story, now, I like Doc Kim gave a very good, a brother sat right here, and we'll drop this on you, too. So, again, just have to explain that, because pretty much how I draw that story up. That's how I draw it up, yes. I also understand that, I got a ring like that. That you're not going to find, unfortunately, this is same exact story. Speaking to you more so because as you study, and you do good study, I did too. I mean, I searched Lord, far and wide for you. Only thing I found in Yaqub was that it was an Arabic name, and that many people had that name, but nobody that might the big head scientists. Other than other people's books and other allegory, I couldn't find an academia. But I found the story. Yeah, I did. Maybe not in that name. Hakim said, I liked it. He said sometimes, going back now, all the way back to our earlier build, that 120 was written in 1934, 15,019. So, troops, a lot of times, have to be explained differently. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This actually happened. Listen, if you're the first people on the earth, it stands to reason good and bad is thrown naturally from you.
Yeah.
Right. Later, eons later, when the story is written, for you to understand the story, or to understand, let me, I'm not going to sit here and tell you at first, Well, Constantine and them back 325, and then eons ago when, the hieroglyphics, and then they did X, Y, Z. You'll get to that. Right, you'll get to that. But I'm telling you the story that would be, is best digestible to you. So the principal player, Yaqub. What happened? But everything that happened exists.
Yeah.
But it had to be explained in a manner. The God and I was talking. The 120 had to be spoken in a manner that was. Let me keep it simple. Had nothing to do with largely that I think he's illiterate. But let me keep it simple. So now I know that the truth is affecting and impacting everyone. I'm not trying to use polysyllabic terminologies and although this was going to naturally influence you in broadening your education, because education etymology, that word only means to bring out. Right, that's what education means. Right, so we want you, but again, using mathematics, let me start from 1 to 9. But when I'm explaining something to you, see, a lie is, this is a lie. Because some people are going to listen to it, they're going to say, oh, so 120, you're not telling the truth. No, they told the truth. It's just that, again, the truth needed to be explained in this manner. Now, if history best rewards the researcher.
Because I found that story is also in the Bible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be careful with that, too.
Well, it's told differently. It's
Yeah.
explained differently.
Don't peek. Yeah, go ahead. Man. Oh, Pete, you come around the corner, bro. You come in here.
Yeah, I'm coming around.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's explained differently. Instead of people, is explained as cattle.
Okay. And spots.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and well, okay, so that's good. That's a good illustration in Genesis, in the beginning of the book. Again, you're going to find. Okay, thank you for that. When we were young, I mean, sometimes I had to unlearn things. You know what I mean? But because I razzle and dazzle people sometimes with my bullshit, it wasn't with the brilliance. But when I razzle and dazzle with the brilliance, I found I could use stories like that. How? So some of my own brothers would tell me, no, God, now diaper. Okay, but I'm telling you about the science of cloning of genes. And the science of, I'm telling you about the science of genetics. Right? So I use the story of Jacob, and I use the story of this and that, you know what I mean? And the cattle, and have spots, and then something was done, then lost its spots, and it says all that in the Bible. Right? You see words that can allude to this story, or these facts. So I use that to kind of heighten what I'm saying, and we ran with it. Sometimes we said some dumb, like I told you, we said some dumb. I'll get to that in a minute. But yes, so there's certain ways you can do it. But my thing as a teacher, I learned later, much later, that this is what I learned. I learned to be the best teacher is to be the best knower. So and knowing means to have knowledge. How am I talking to you? You know what I mean? What am I giving you? I'm not telling you that, it's okay, bro, you're not disturbing nobody, it's your alarm, you know? So, I'm not telling you that what we're teaching here, we're teaching the truth. But you must understand that everything is subjected to be shown and proved. 120. We don't, you can quote it, but you have to be able to explain what you're saying to people. Right. It's an old saying that says in the Bible too, that there's in my Father's house there's many houses. That means you gotta stay up. You gotta fall out. It's not the heat. But so having said that, I gotta be able to explain this story to the Muslims, to the Christians, to the scientists. Yeah. But so the story. Famous one. Drum roll, please. Went to this one. Yeah. The half original. Went to that science. Right? You either are or you're not. That's my bill. I went this bill with my brother. You're going to go through some science regarding the gravitation of devil, how the Caucasian got here. 600-year process. There's many books in academia that actually highlights that. I mean, in fact, we're in a day and time, there is no denying the cloning of a gene. There was a time where the people laughed at, matter of fact, you got to read the book, at Elijah Muhammad, Allah is 5%. In this day and time, excuse me, what are you saying? That the white man was born through a black and brown gene? Oh no, that ain't too crazy.
Yeah, I do that one.
No, right, yeah. And, at 2/10/2023, they're not right now. They're not. I'm not. That's crazy. First of all, that sounds racist. In fact, it is. That's what there's just massive arguments. Okay, but history, well, science, today's mathematics will tell you greatly. Which book would you prefer me to show this into you? No, don't. I'm not going to deal with which book in academia, religiously, what dogma would you? What do you? Yeah. Dogma doesn't really, it's not even fact.
Right.
Some fanatical information that but what do you? Where would you like? Because I'll be good with it to prove this, right? So, but later on they came to learn because right now they're cloning genes, cells to create another you and to create, stem cells to help if has chemo or whatever, we can use some information from that to help him or whatever, the same DNA, whatever. But you laughed at this man when he told you that. Right. You laughed when we said Yaqub and, oh no, you sound stupid. Okay, the story, okay, yeah, we know that there are variations. There are variations with 17 million plus the 2 million Indians, make a total of 19 million. Again, I told you, 1934 Almanac. It's more than, less than them, all over the planet Earth. Well, this degree was telling you totally, this a census of everybody is the original man, but him, all over the planet Earth.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, of course it is. It was 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now, because we multiply. But that degree still applies, because see, now we know mathematics. You understand what's the meaning of civilization and how this wisdom needs to connect to the rest of the people. Right. Yeah, I'm going to do more to go into this. He shows us a polarity, which is how you change the forces of energy, but not changing them to you're changing them to express an idea. His famous one was to compass the planet Earth, 24,896, approximately 25,000, and the 2 ideas spoken of in that. I was like, wow, it's doing in on that. He's going, I was like, I think he's over my head. He's speaking gibberish, but I get it. One was talking about 6, the other's talking about 7. Where's the power manifests God, and we're talking about who we are here on this earth, and the other one's talking 24,896. Yeah, I later on I kind of got where he was going with that. He's a wordsmith anyway. But the point is, again, when we're reading our lessons, again, a lot of us, there's a lot we have to unlearn. I had to unlearn a lot of dumb stuff I was saying. My famous one, I had everybody laughing with this one, was I knew the day and the month the devil was created. In the 1 to 14, the 4th degree. I never forget this one. We're young, brilliant minds in Kaksaki. That's the correctional facility. Yeah, right? And I read the degree. I said, wait. Because now, the 115,019 was correct. That's actual fact. That's an Asiatic calendar. This is when the actual degrees were written. But I said, hey, the devil ran, and then it says he was walked every step of the way. So if you walk and run, that's considered marching. Right? Then how many miles did we say we ran them? 2,200. Hey, yeah, 2,200 miles, right? So I said, okay, the devil was created on March 22nd. I be knowing. Woo! I ran the whole way with that one. Oh, that was created in March 22nd. Hello, because we marched them in it. Oh, man, I was like, wow. And then when I got with the older guards, yeah, they laughed me out. They laughed me out with that.
That's what I call a fly percenter.
Yeah, fly. I like that much. I like that. I'm gonna take that.
Check this one.
Yeah, I like that. Was a good one there. Yeah. I gotta find this degree. Allah B wrote. Oh man, this is great. On that note, it talks about I'm kind of paraphrase what he wrote. So Allah was in Matterhorn from 1965 to 1967. So he was coming home. So somehow or another he contacts Allah B, or they there. Somehow or another Allah B finds that Allah's coming home in March of 1967. Right?
He thought it was a new year.
The New Year. So everybody said no. Allah's gonna come home in the New Year. So everybody's like, nah, man,
December was the
yeah, they argue with Allah B. Allah's coming home in January. So January is the New Year. Right. And then later on, Allah comes home in March. Right. And then, but Allah B went to the whole astrological sign of, but the premise was, again, to throw things off balance. Because we're in winter, of course, right? And you're still in that season. Right? You're still in that season. That season's not over until the next cycle. So the next cycle is just the new year. Everything's springing up. Right? Why is the new cycle? We talk the vernal equinox. The time is different. Where the earth is traveling, the time, all that. The first degree and the 1 to 40, the second, the third. Matter of fact, all 8 degrees go into the signs of the earth at some form or fashion. More specifically as it relates to time, rotation, diameter. Because when you start to computating and showing and proving, there's the hours in the day and circumference and all these things are relative to showing and proving how fast this planet travels. Because these numbers have to make sense, right? When you're showing and proving, so especially when you're dealing with the numerical, right? You like again. There's the famous argument with the 12,478,000,000 on 18,400,000. So put square inches. Oh, that's square inches, God. You got to change. I'm not changing nothing in 120. Okay, I guess you. Yes, square inches and inches times and so. So yes, it wouldn't be. But I get where they were going with that. I get where they were going with that. So that's not. No, I'm not changing that. What changes is your level of understanding of how you're applying it now. Right. I mean, I'm not like when I was younger, just quoting it and then leaving you just there. Right. In fact, for most people in this room, I'm not even going to book no disrespect, except for those that's up and coming in the knowledge. But again, for the sake of argument, I'm not boring you with who is the founder of Unlike Attracts or Like Repels, but what you need to know is this one. Who was the founder of Like Attracts Unlike Repels?
It's like
There you go. You couldn't wait to say that one, huh? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good, that's right, yeah, absolutely. Right. But we already know about it. We've been talking about Yaku for no, and it's good to understand that. But you need to know about the founder. were these doctors, ministers, nurses, cremated? Yes, they were the devils too. Why? Because they're doers of evil.
Still no.
Right? Yeah, yes. But let me say this too, because I had this argument during the height of the pandemic. First of all, tell us about how the devil is made. 30th degree and 140. That was made from the original people, back separating the germs. The black man's body says two germs, the black germ and the brown germ. So we understand we're talking about genes, cloning, right? We understand that now that he's here, one of the ways to create barriers, I can do it microscopically. I cause viruses. Some people say, oh no, that's good, you know why would you say that? Because he did. Yeah, it's right. You have viruses that are natural that come, but then you have some that let me just throw this in the atmosphere. We play no games here.
Shut down everything.
Right. So the great argument was, because we understood, because that was to some people almost frightening. Instantaneously, we shutting this whole world down. Right. I understood it. I get it. What better way to keep you from that? God, the minute they said it was a pandemic, well, I already know its root and where the idea come from. Yeah. But the science, the day mathematics is what?
Wisdom, knowledge.
Right. You have to be wise in this knowledge. So, God ain't gonna affect me. Yeah. No, I caught COVID, caught it. I had to regroup, help my brother. My brother, then we had to go run around and help other brothers recuperate, But what was crazy was the Twilight Zone observation of the world. Nothing moved. Right. No train, no plane, nothing.
It wasn't like a Twilight Zone.
Look, be quiet, look. You didn't even hear that. Right. That was a welcoming noise. It was crazy. I'm like, are you serious right now? And then when we're in the car, here go my point. Peace, noble king.
Peace, guys.
Yeah. So they got these in the Bronx. They got all over too, but they got these. They use these lots and these parts. But they have these white tents. But they're doing the COVID. But they have the National Guard with the guns out.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm like, are you serious right now? That was baffling. Yo, I wasn't even gonna get tested. They tested born first. Then I had my head, they came my pesticide, they just moved to me. I'll be honest, I jumped like a dead headlights. What? He said, yeah, do you want to get tested too? I said, yeah, let me get tested. So I got tested. So I found out, yeah, I did have it. So you have people, and I get it, I get the guards, some of the guards, and herbs. I'm not taking the COVID. It's a conspiracy. First, it's a conspiracy. I'm not putting no foreign substance into my body, and then, okay, no problem. Then inoculate my body with that. Oh, then the mask. A guard told me I'll never get this one. Because they said everything is to be shut down. That was the rule.
That was the law,
Right, a God said to me, why are we shutting the school down? Why couldn't you have held a meeting in the yard with no face mask so we could decide as a nation, grouped up, should we close the school or not? I said, yo, that's some brand new joint he's smoking there. Oh. Yo, no, I get already. Yes, but one thing you forgetting is about prevention. And then, I'm sorry, are you a doctor? Do you know this man's body? He may have, HIV. He may have diabetes.
Right.
He has health issues here, where his immune system could be compromised, and you're telling him not to take. So what should he do? Oh, you read a book by this doctor. Take this holistic pill, this holistic leaf. Put in some tea. You have holistic remedies that are good. Yes, they are. You do. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, and I'm with holistic remedies. But how will you? I mean, some of the asinine. It was crazy. Now, I'm not encouraging people. We had a whole bill during our parliaments on that. So much so we called, you can't tell me, whatever. But, now, my favorite line, and not move on, is if you don't have a sound, medicinal solution, shut up. I guess if you don't have a sound medicinal solution, be quiet. Okay, you don't have to take it. I get you, and that's your choice. That's your choice. But we gonna shut this school down. I don't care nothing about you or your mom and them. Want this school open? I'm about protecting everybody and these babies in here.
Right.
I'm gonna wear a mask, and you come to school, you gonna wear one too, or you not coming in.
Right.
That's how we gonna do that until things get better.
Right.
Now, we understand. See again. Knowing your body, the circulatory system, right? Yes, absolutely it's him. Tell us how the devil was made. But we understand that, again, it's about prevention. So already, again, utilizing mathematics, but, and applying it, not being foolish. Again, I'm not encouraging people to do things they shouldn't do. But what sound? See, that's my question to all these academias. Sorry, God. Okay, look, I got you. I'm talking about like heated arguments over the phone. God, you're teaching, he said, God doesn't wear a muzzle. No, he doesn't, man, and I'm offended with you. Yeah, muzzle. Yeah, the face mask, yeah. I hear you. But check this one in. Statistically, I hope it don't, but it stands to reason because of how greatly prevalent this virus is. Somebody in your family about to get it. You don't have one already, right? So what do you do to prevent that?
So unfortunately, we don't all agree.
Right. Yeah.
That's the.
Yeah. No, we got get. Yeah. Yes, God. Right. Now I get it. No, with the how do you put that? With the vaccine. Right. Okay. But you need to do something to show, and then later on he said, okay, you got to continue to get tested then. Okay, so I'm not you're promoting I'm promoting prevention.
Right.
I'm not coming to the rally. Yay! Yay to you. Yeah, you know what I mean? Thank you. Comedian, I'm not trying to hear that. So that was that science. But I'm just, again, coming back, I know some people came in the God here, you're talking about, we were talking about, we were going to the root of, we were talking about the root, the basic. We going to the God was the 10th degree and one, the 14th, right? God was asking about the question about lust, envy, greed, and jealousy. We was dealing with that because that's the degree the God's on now, right? Kind of dealing with that, like different ways you see things. How 120 was written, because 120 was written in 1934, right? And how it was given, right? Again, a lot of stories in there. Are truths. But you're not going to find that story exactly. You're not. I'm not going to sit in this classroom and tell you go find that. But you'll find it in different realms and different areas that will speak to, this did occur. Yeah. Maybe not in the manner in which I read it. Right. No, and this is the part that kind of escaped me for a second. It doesn't mean you lied. See, a lie is, I'm giving you the story, not only, purposely, of course, purposely, but you will find not near one iota of truth in that. None.
Right.
None. But there's certain ways a story can be told. One way, Inf was telling me, and the Bible, even though I have my issue, Jacob, yes, whoever said it was you? Yeah, okay. You just said it.
Nothing.
Huh?
That was me that said that.
Okay, you did? You got your voice changed up, Jacob. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, yes. So, yes.
Always building on Jacob and Yaqub and how it's like the story is the story is it's the same story, but it's just told differently.
Yes. So, actually, Jacob is the Hebrew translation of Yaqub. Right? Now, the Arabic, there's an Arabic meaning, there's an Arabic name.
English, because
English is sort of,
Jacob,
we're translating it. Yes, thank you.
Because Hebrew, he still be Yaqub.
Yeah, he would, in that language,
Right,
thank you, God, thank you, the correction. Yes, so English, yes. But, when we say Yaqub, don't jump out the window. What are we referring to?
The founder of the devil.
Yeah, I mean the meaning of the name.
Change.
I think
I didn't ask you. Yeah, okay, it means that, but that's not where I'm going. So since you do the monkey wrench for nothing. Yeah. Okay. No, you not the monkey wrench. I know. Yeah, well, to supplant.
I was gonna say.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what the meaning. Is there any other definition to his name? Yaqub.
I still sleep with change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he did. He did. That's correct.
Why
Yeah. Class over for you. No, no. Yeah, why law see you born? Because you speak mathematics. Why law see you born? Right. Because and go show and prove, no problem. What was his idea of making devil? It was ridiculous when you ate that when he was born. So he was already born with a determined idea. So in order for this to happen, it had to be foreseen. We went through that build earlier. So, so again, this is one way you could explain it. I'm not saying that Jacob in the Bible story is the factual, but the most prevalent read story.
Right. No, because you would say like, you can't find that story of Yaqub, but
Right.
it's actually it's told in a certain way, by way of a certain language, via a certain culture.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna show you how you find his story. So, you first know. See, 120 is a map. If we go back to the map, let me change inf here and put this. I would say 120 is a map. So let me help you, understand where we're going here. So, here you go. Where does this story take place at, Yaqub's story? Where does it take place? Yeah, I'm talking to you. No, that's later.
Okay.
The Holy City, Mecca.
Yeah, okay, that's one. So we know it's Mecca, which is in Arabia. The people who? Black, white?
Black.
Okay. Where do these people go to later?
Peon.
Right. Okay, so that's pretty much the story. Back. Pretty much gives you like a kind of footage to research. Now, so you ask yourself, what am I looking for then? Well, one, I already know the only people during this particular time would be black or brown people.
Right.
Black. So, how far back you going back? Go back as far, in here as you can. Now, it's this one. So, we know it's black people. I'm trying to find, and then Arabia's name and Mecca's name is going to change when you go back further. Right? It'll have another name. Right? Boom. So, whatever that name is, then you find these same people, what was the conditions of the people during this particular time.
Satisfied.
Then they're satisfied, right. And what was the situation? Listen to this one. Right? Then when you find what the situation was, okay, these were the factors that caused this to occur. Okay, bet. That. All right. Who were the people that were satisfied? What were their names? What did they do? Who were the people that were dissatisfied? But now listen to this one here. You ready? Who was the one, more importantly, that was overseeing and monitoring those who were dissatisfied? Then you found Yaakov. Different name.
30%.
Right. You're talking eons ago.
Right.
This same story had to be told in 1933 in this manner. Right. And now again, and I'm gonna say this. Again, 1933, you're talking about the wound is just healing from 1863 when or 65 when he emancipated you. Some 80 or 100 years later, so whatever. I don't even know it was that long. Right? But anyway, just healing. So we're just getting on our feet with connecting with forms of education and whatever. So again, it had to be given to you. Let me give it to them. Now again, we had profound minds, black minds. W.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Marcus Garvey. You had some of our great grandmothers and fathers who were there. You know, we didn't just count them either. The unsung heroes and sheroes, right? But more importantly and lastly is how to put it. I'm trying to do this say this in a manner. But okay, so but when this knowledge and wisdom came to us in February 20, 1934, through Master Father Muhammad, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he started the Nation of Islam, because they're the ones who first they compiled, they 40 questions and answers by them, right? I'm gonna give it to you in this manner, right? The man does best, like the God said, you keep it simple so you can digest it. Let me give you different portions of the food. I'm not giving. Let me give you this. Then let me give you that. That's how we teach it.
Right.
Process.
Right. There you go, God. Thank you. Like that word, because when Allah leaves the mosque in 1964 and gives us the knowledge, first thing He gives us is the 1 to 9. And that again, God, listen to me. If I hadn't said nothing else in this class, I went to different places. If I haven't said nothing else in this class, again, mathematics goes from knowledge to born, right? And that's the process. Thank you, God, for that. That you use in everything, probably. Not only your lessons, but 1, 2, 3, not 3, 4, 5, 1. Right. 1, 2, 3. Like I get up. Whatever your routine, like God used the word rhythm. Everybody has a different rhythm. I said when we study differently. Right. I said to God, He wants to study by, but I said listening, not the ear. The God looks in the mirror. It quotes His lesson. I get up, I want to walk back and forth. You, listen, I got some time on my hand. I'm going to the library where it's quiet at. And I'm going to sit, everybody has their, the guard wants to go, matter of fact, I'm a jog and go through 120. Yeah, okay, right. Nothing wrong with that. You can't talk to no one else.
Right.
There. Difference between schizophrenia and me talking to me. You hear me? Oh, yeah, I got it. Schizophrenia means that somebody else. Oh yeah. What by the way, right? Because right. But what I mean by that is that you're talking like, damn, wait, did I do that? Did I say it right? Because you're talking to yourself. Right. So, yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
We all do. Yeah, I mean, but you're having long conversations.
Then you got to
Yeah.
hold on it. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. We get it, God.
Yeah.
In fact, let me drop this on you too on that note. So, I'm in the mental health field.
Right.
So, in substance use, behavioral health. So, I use the 14th degree to explain mental health to some people, but in this manner. So that there's a large part of people who, I'm gonna get back to my Italian, large part of people who, because it says they're slaves of mental death and power. A lot of times trauma, see, was inflicted. See, a lot of times this is generational trauma.
Right.
The reason why this child might be going through what he's going through is because of generational trauma that was done to his family line. You have to understand the gene, the predisposition. You did this to Ali, Abu and them, and bring him a slave, and then his father, his mother. Right, and this gene, just, I'm not saying no, they don't wrong, but the trauma, the information that's carried on. Then the things that we experienced and impacted in our lives. In fact, post-traumatic stress is one of the symptoms, it's caused by the experience of violence. The first time its diagnosis was manifested was during World War I, when soldiers was coming back and was impacted by the war, which is crazy because you bullets coming 200 miles a minute, you fighting and killing people. Of course, that impacts your brain. But impact me, man, please. So what do you call us then?
Post-traumatic slave disorder.
Oh, look at him! Look at him! Okay,
Divine taught me that one.
Yeah, that's right, my man.
man.
That's right. There you go. That's right. Post-traumatic. Yes, God, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, guy.
Yeah, post-traumatic slave disorder. So we go back to that. But then a lot of people are impacted by that element, and other things too. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. This means, man, you try. It's called homeostasis. You're regaining balance. You need to regain balance. That's what that is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because what was done, we get it. I went through it. Yeah, in prison back and forth. Then and then later on, I got to get your hand, God. I'm not even seeing the impact. I'm going to a restaurant. I never forget this. I'm going to a restaurant with this young lady. Moons ago. We dressed to the nines. Then we get the forks, the spoons. We sitting there, right? We get ready to eat. I grabbed the spoon and started going in. She looking at okay. See, there's no more spoon. That's part of the, it's part of the utensils. But that's all you're using. Like, that's kind of, and then when I'm eating kind of fast. Because you only got for so many times. Let's get up. Yeah, now I'm not catching that. Right. I'm walking, I'm doing this. I still do that sometimes. I look behind me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes I'm doing it unnecessarily. Right? And so, I had to slow the picture down, take self-introspection. Then stop. There's certain things I had to redefine, to do away with. Okay, because you had your hand, I'm sorry.
Yeah, once you actually mentioned about trauma, a lot of people need to address those issues, man. And the reason why I said that, I can't remember the word for it, but they actually have been putting out there, like, the first things is like people smoking cigarettes, they smoking weed, they start alcohol. This is prior to the childhood, and they're actually going through the things that they actually went through. They've been actually neglected. They actually have been raped or
those things,
some things like that. But that is trauma right there. And the very first time I really paid attention to that, I thought they were just talking about I see somebody got shot or somebody died or you see a car accident. Nah, the trauma, it goes back to your youth. And I actually have to realize that. I start having to address that, and I actually be building other people about
well, I
that.
mean, it could be
important, man.
Yes, it can, because it's present, past, present, and future. Right. It is. It's past, present, future. But it could be something you've seen. You can see something traumatically happen and it impacts you. That impacts your brain, your neuron transmitters. Right? That actually, takes you in, Who 85%?
The uncivilized people poison animals. The uncivilized people poison animals. The slaves don't mention nothing power. People who do not know the true living God and know the order of the world. So they worship what they know not, and they easily go in the wrong direction, hard to go in the right direction.
Okay.
Please.
So, I had a sister come to me, tell me, her mother, she came to me and said, because she was very interested, and she's still the earth. But she came, she said, yo, my mother said if she never experienced, first of all, let me say this, she never experienced any act of aggression from her family.
Right.
She's seen it, but it never really, you see, but you know, it doesn't, you know, it's not, when you're home, I'm here with my family,
Right.
and this never happened, all of a sudden it instantaneously occurs. That's a whole other animal.
Right.
And then it's done as a result of you wanting to have this knowledge. Right, now here's how it went. So she, you know, explained to her mother, probably her mother and them are largely Christian, fanatical. They slammed the door, me and the guard face. We went there, you know, and we even went as far as to put the suit on. You know, the presentation, peace, man, how you doing? You know, just to, you know, how you doing? Let me, you know, I'm gonna come to you with the Kango backwards. We respect you. You know, I'm like, well, we're not gonna change the truth in which we speak, but our presentation was the meaning of civilization, right? So, but anyway, all right. So she, you know, with the devil. All kinds of, you know, negative connotations and disparaging. Oh, they're not. Oh my God, this is some schism. And I just look at Google. Look, they just offshoot of the Nation of Islam. And they don't believe in Jesus. They look at them. Oh my God, what are you talking about? You know. So when her daughter was adamant about not. I'm doing this, Mom. You're not going to church. Nah, man, listen. You know what I mean? She came back. She came back from school. All her shit was in the street. People were running through her shit. The door was closed. She couldn't get in. You know what I mean? We sent some people to go get her. Her family members said that was crazy. That was like, we've never seen that happen. Yeah, you know, so I wasn't even in this field. I was still a rather young 5% then. But knowledge and wisdom, you know, we're social activists. You know, that's who we are. I gotta have a credential. That's who all y'all are. Yeah, right. So, but to make, so I'm like, wow. But here's my point. So when I see her, she's trembling. You know, I'm talking to you. She's not here. Right. I'm detached from reality right now because I've never had this happen to me. Right. So I never forget. I said, listen, if you need to reconcile with your mother, however, you know, we understand it. If that's what you want to do, okay? We're not forcing you neither. Right. You know, we're not. You know, we just. In fact. I'm glad you quoted this. That's why I want you to quote the Greek, because the main issue was your order. Our duty wasn't really to make you a 5%er, but to at least give you your origin in this world.
Right.
Know who you are.
Right. Know you came from greatness.
Right. I mean, you ain't got to be no. You have a lot of people, great minds that sat at your very feet, whom you don't even know that became great people as a result of the influence. But my point is this. So. Great earth here. This is a great earth. So she stayed. She's still around. Because I'm not disclosing her name and I'm doing that. But you know, she's you know, but and she said, use the words of God, that traumatized me. Right. Because I never see and then when she and actually she's a teacher. Oh, that's so but when she goes into the study, she sees what we're talking about. Right. You know what I mean? Mm. You know, and how sometimes adversity it impacts them to that point where you would want to hurt your own child. Right. throwing my shit down. See, I was good when I was complying. I'm going to church and I'm doing that. And peace to you. We're not, you know. But she happened to meet the guards and others in the community. She wanted the knowledge, yada yada yada, and she, then when she wants to accept it, their family's real narrow-minded,
Right.
to say the least here. You know, like I was like, wow, I was like taken back with that. I think Sam is doing our faith. Dick, hi man, so and so, Shah, this is God. We from the nation 5%. We just wanted, bam.
He was polite and everything.
Got you. Okay, so again, trauma, but slavery with different power. But that's one of the ways. And then, of course, knowledge being taken from you. So you don't know who you are.
Right.
You dance to the beat of someone else's drum.
Right.
You know what I mean? One of the points is to at least know your origin in this world.
Right.
The point of origin. And that's good. They use that word because that's what we do here in this class. The point of origin is knowing who you are.
Right.
The map is 120. 120 is not making you the God.
Right.
It's just that I need to understand this map to know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And with this knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. Because without it, then, right. And it has to be the process from 1 to 9.
Right.
Right. So I just wanted to go in to say that. While I'm here, if I got the information and the guard here, I'm gonna highlight again the guard and then I'm conclude. The guard, we got heroes and people with great accomplishments at home and abroad. But one of them was my man. I'm still trying to connect with him. Knowledge Infinite. Right. This is a guard who is in Rochester. Right. He has established a supermarket in the name of Allah.
That's great, God.
And
A kitchen, large kitchen, restaurant, a recycling plant, and I'm sure other lands and properties and whatever he's done. We definitely want to sit and build with him. This is a man. I'm paying business. His mind, yo, got peace to you, man. Like, so we're trying to make that connection. I bring that up. Actually, his store kind of has his color. Yeah.
He does.
Has his color.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
same
yeah.
sequence. Doc Kim did this. As you see, we're trying to redo. We are redoing, the school, and people want to put stars in the ceiling and the silhouette of the father over here and
That's
justice.
right.
Yeah, we trying to, just keep it tight. It's a school.
Right.
So, but I needed to highlight the God, man. I'm gonna try to make the connection. We make preparations so we can because Rochester's like Morocco. So
it is up there.
Yeah. That's a 5-hour, 6-hour ride. Yeah. But we're building the Peace Guard, and it's good that his greatness be highlighted. That's how I knew. Yeah. So I needed to say that. So with that, man, thank you, man, class, and
Peace, God. Thank you.
God, yeah.
Peace, God.
Peace, Lord.
Peace, Jack.
How you doing, buddy? I'm good.
Good seeing you, though,
You
man.
too. Yeah, I'm good. I'm
What's going
hanging
on,
today.
man?
Taking the day by day.
Peace. Chilling, Pilo?
If Mega did this.